Alright, so in this video, I'm just going to be going over the 3 best summons in the game. In my opinion, these are the 3 best ones. Luther the Headless is also pretty decent because he's good at tanking after distracting the enemy, but he just doesn't really deal any damage, especially after mid-game. Like, even in early game, his damage isn't that impressive, but yeah, after mid-game, it's pretty much worthless. Now, the reason why I have the Dung Eater here, even though he doesn't really compare to the other two, is because he has a debuff effect and a buff for himself. So, due to the Sword of Milos, is the Ash of War that it has debuffs the enemy if he uses it when they're close by, and it's a percentage-based debuff. So, I don't know what the percentage is, but a percentage of their attack and defense is reduced for a time. And now that alone, in my opinion, makes him at least warranted for a top 3, because that's a pretty big deal. A percentage-based debuff is pretty huge. Not to mention, while it might not look impressive, his damage and his HP, this is New Game plus 7 millennia, and I don't believe that the Dung Eater becomes any stronger over the course of the new games, just based on his level. So, the fact that he's even doing this well is pretty good. Of course, even on a New Game plus 1, his damage wouldn't be crazy, but he would be doing some damage. And he would be taking even better than this. He also has good AI. As for Black Knife Tiche, I do believe that Black Knife Tiche is at least the second best in the game. Now, the reason why I say at least is because depending on the exact circumstance, Black Knife Tiche can be better than Mimic Tear. I would say that Mimic Tear is overall the more effective Spirit Summon, more viable Spirit Summon, but depending on the equipment you have and the boss fight you're trying to beat, Black Knife Tiche can be more useful than the Mimic Tear. That's because of Destined Death, which does percentage-based HP damage, and it completely melts bosses' HP bars. Now, Black Knife Tiche is having some trouble right now, but sometimes Black Knife Tiche's Destined Death can be very powerful, even on Millennia. Not only does it reduce HP by a percentage-based amount, but it also, as you can see, puts a little blocker on an HP bar that prevents them from healing above a certain level, which against bosses isn't usually useful, but on Millennia it can be somewhat useful. Yeah, that damage is pretty nuts. This is New Game plus 7 millennia, by the way. The fact that Black Knife Tiche is doing this well, taking attacks that well, and doing so much damage is pretty crazy. Because the Spirit Summons don't get any stronger, but the bosses do. The Dung Eater didn't do nearly this good against Millennia, at least in terms of damage. And obviously, imagine if I was fighting Millennia as well instead of just watching. Millennia would already be phase 2 by this point. Alright, now onto the Mimic Tear. And this is obviously a very simple build, doesn't include much buffs or anything. Very basic, anybody can do it if they've played enough. But again, that just, goes to show why the Mimic Tear is so good. Look at that. And then takes that like a champ. Again, New Game plus 7 millennia. Yeah, I mean, it's absurd. I'm just saying it right now. Anybody who says that Black Knife Tiche is better in these YouTube videos is likely just trying to bait people because they want to make a hot take, and making hot takes gets views. But like, I'm not gonna be like saying the same thing. No, the Mimic Tear is better than the Black Knife Tiche.